Welcome to the Board of Trustees regular meeting dated March 14th, 2023 at 7:30 p.m. I will now take the roll. Village President. Trustee Pembroke.
Here.
Trustee Mallow.
Here.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Here.
Trustee Desmond. Trustee Sack.
Here.
Can I have a motion to allow Trustee Stalker to participate by phone?
So moved. Second.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to appoint Trustee Olejniczak Mayor Pro Tem.
Second.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Move to the big chair. I'm all by myself now. Gonna be over there.
Sounds like a
I'm all
song.
by myself now.
Okay, if we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and would Zophie, are you here, Zophie? Would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Zophie.
Welcome.
And I'd also like to take a moment of silence to remember Police Officer Andres Vasquez Lasso, who gave his life in service of his community on March 1st. May he always be remembered for the job that he did and he loved, and thank God that we have people that want to protect our communities. Thank you. We'd like to announce the 2022 Fire and Public Safety Coloring Contest winners.
Hello. Hi. Each year, the Oaklawn Chamber of Commerce collaborates with the Oaklawn Fire Department and the Oaklawn Police Department to produce the annual Fire and Police Public Safety Coloring Book. This coloring book is a teaching tool for thousands of kindergarten through fourth grade students in our community. The book is distributed by our Oaklawn Fire Department each October Fire Prevention Month. The book features a number of drawings designed to teach children about the dangers of fire, talking to strangers, safety, public safety, and traffic issues. In the center of the book is a blank page where students can demonstrate what they've learned by the book. The prizes, we have second and third prizes and even first place winners. Today, we also, at the Oaklawn Chamber of Commerce, honored the high school students that presented their drawings also. First and foremost, the Chamber would like to thank the Oaklawn Fire Department and the Oaklawn Police Department for their continued support on this popular and educational effort, as well as the tireless commitment to our community. We would also like to thank the businesses and nonprofits that sponsor the book by purchasing ads. This year, we have many businesses to thank for the prizes given to the winners. Some of these are Oaklawn Bank and Trust, Oaklawn Chamber of Commerce, the Children's Museum of Oaklawn, Nothing But Cake, and 4 Hour Candy. We wish to thank you. At this time, I would like our trustee, Alex Olejniczak, please come down and you can introduce our winners.
Thank you, Kathleen Farrell.
Thank you, Alex.
Well, I first want to thank Kathleen Farrell for being a part of this, and I'd also like to thank Annie, our president of the Chamber of Commerce. Not president, but your director. Same thing. I think it's a great program when we recognize the youth of the community and focus on safety, which is something that we all need to continue to focus on. So I'd like to announce the winners of the Public Safety Coloring Contest. I'll ask Sergeant Hellig to come on up. Can you please come up and stand with the winners? We could take a nice picture at the end of this. As I call your name, please come up and stand together for a picture. So the first The third prize winner goes to Zofia Kapuziak? Did I say it correct, Sophia? Nice job, Sophia. And second prize goes to Hugh Curley. Nice job.
Take that from me. There you go.
And the first prize for the Public Safety Coloring Contest goes to Zanya Swice. Congratulations.
Alex, can you go on with the three winners?
Certainly. Come on up.
You please come back up again? The trick is always look at the guy with the camera, so don't look at them. You're gonna go, you're not looking at me. I'm just gonna wonder why the picture is so funny. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Nice job by all. Now I'd like to announce the winners of the Fire Safety Coloring Contest. Chief Zach Riddle, would you come up? As I call your name, please come up and stand together for a picture. Third prize goes to Hugh Curley.
Come on over, right here in the middle. The handsome guy in the middle.
Nice job,
All right, well done. Hey, Hugh, we got a medal.
All right. The second prize goes to Santiago Cerna. Nice job.
Right over here.
All right,
Oh,
you want
we
to show
gotta
your
turn it
picture?
around.
It's okay, he's got his picture on the other side.
Oh, okay, I'm
Either way.
Good job, buddy.
Nice job, Santiago.
Congratulations.
First prize goes to Leali Samra. Nice job.
Excellent.
And do you want all three again?
Yeah, if we could.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hold on just a second. They're gonna get everybody's picture again.
Santiago?
Everybody in
Come
one
on up.
picture.
Yeah, take one with all three together.
This time I'll move.
Oh, there we go. You guys are gonna be in the newspaper. You ready for that? Yeah?
We're gonna do a couple. You good, Joe? Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, guys.
All right, good job. Congratulations.
Thank you. So for the kids now, you have to stay to the end of the meeting and you have to put the chairs away.
Only 2 hours.
And then you have a 3-page report due at school in the morning. No? Okay. Well, what we'll do is we'll let you go home so you don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting, but congratulations, nice job. Thank you to Chamber of Commerce. Thank you to the police. All right. Do we have any public comments today?
There are none.
All right, and does any member of the board have a conflict of interest to disclose? Good. Moving on, we have the approval of closed meeting minutes number 2023-03 dated February 14th, 2023.
So moved. Second.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
All right, then we're on to approval of regular meeting minutes 2023-04 dated February 28, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, we're moving on to new business by village trustee. Trustee Malo, do you have any new business?
Thank you, pro tempore. I'd just like to make a comment regarding our police department. So I thank you from the Chicago Police Department and what our men and women in uniform did for Officer Vasquez, Lasso. Tremendous effort by our whole team to be able to be there. It makes me very proud that it was at Blake and Lamb that we were able to help and assist and have our residents out on the street. It was really something to avoid that area just because there was so many people in that area paying respect. So it's very nice to see, and I'm just really happy that came from our town and what they did to show that respect. That's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, I miss you over here.
I know.
I got Tom.
Sorry.
All right, then we have trustee Ralph Salk.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I love giving news like this. This is probably one of the best reports I've gotten to talk about since I've been a trustee. Last week, District 218 Board voted unanimously to approve an easement to allow the village and MWRD to move forward with using the PI facilities for a water retention area in District 6. This also includes new sewers in the area. At the end, District 218 is going to have an amazing complex with new fields, a better drainage system than has ever been there before. And most importantly, my district, District 6, is going to see a huge relief in flood relief going forward. I've lived in that district in 4 different houses in 50 years, and I've seen and lived with the flooding that goes on in that area. And what this project is going to do is alleviate a great majority of that flooding for these residents when we have these major storms. And the great thing is when these fields are controlled, how we drain it out. The village releases it out when the water goes in there. And the thing is, within 24 hours after a storm, this water's all going to be released, and the fields are going to be in better condition than they currently are now 24 hours later. These fields are like clay. They hold the water. So it's a big win for 218. It's a huge win for the village and for District 6. So I just wanted to put that out there. This has been something in the works for 15-plus years. You know, Trustee Olejniczak's been around the longest with Village Manager Phelan, and these guys have literally been working on something like this, and now we're actually going to see this come to fruition, you know, somewhat in the next year or so. So it's a huge accomplishment for the village in cooperation with MWRD at District 218. Thank you.
Trustee Sack, I'd just like to compliment you on all the work that you, and I know that Trustee Stalker have been big proponents of this. And what this means to the village of Oak Lawn is as the village was being developed, they didn't have a plan for a master water plan. So imagine the village of Oak Lawn growing up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s with all the buildings going up. No one could have predicted that we were going to see 50-year floods and 100-year floods and the amount of rain that we're seeing. And we needed to find place for retention. So this is a great idea. I know that Village Manager Tom Phelan worked very hard with the school district to get this opportunity for this project. And the school district was very open to it. But MWRD also came up with a considerable amount of funding for this to help. Because when we get hit with the water that comes through, anybody in the village knows, you get hit with that quick rain, you've got to displace it, and we use a creek system for it. So this village board has worked very hard for the infrastructure improvements, the creek system improvements, and now it's coming down to water retention for when we get hit with that. So this is another step in the ring to success for us to continue to address the water in Oak Lawn. So I'm very proud to be on this board, and especially the support from all the areas, because even though we live miles apart, what affects downstream affects us all because of where the floodwaters or rainwater goes down the creek system. So Again, this is a big step forward in what we've been doing, so keep up the good work on that. Nice job.
Thanks, Alex.
Trustee Stalker, do you have any new business?
Not at this time, thank you.
Great, I didn't know how to take you off mute. Trustee Pembroke, do you have any new business?
No new business at this time.
Excellent. All right, we'll move on to village manager's report.
Thank you, Pro Tem Mayor. I just wanted to add one data point to Trustee Sock's report and Trustee Olejniczak's comments, and that is the volume that we are looking to detain or can detain under the current plan is somewhere between the area of 12 and 20 million gallons of water, which is just substantial. And to Trustee Sock's point, it will obviously alleviate flooding in 6th District, but as Trustee Olejniczak said, also the 5th District and likely the 4th and the 3rd because of the way the water drains. It's truly a fantastic solution. We've tried for decades, as Trustee Sock said, with different ideas with the Archdiocese, with different areas, and 218 was gracious and, as Trustee Sock said, unanimously supportive of this. And that's important because it's a consolidated school district. Only 2 of the board members on 218 are from Oak Lawn, unlike Oak Lawn High School, where everybody is from Oak Lawn, or perhaps one's from hometown. 218, the majority of the board is from other areas, Alsip, Blue Island, Crestwood, but they recognized the importance of this to the community. Of course, the headquarters at 218 sits right in this flood area. So it is not to understate the win-win-win concept. Maybe it's win to the 5th power because there are so many good things about this. And again, like Trustee Sock said, that a lot of people had their hand in this, previous board members, previous mayors, and it's been a long time in the making. But the board at 218 and Superintendent Josh Barron deserve a hell of a lot of credit for this, so we thank them. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you. All right, we're on to the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are routine and have been brought forward at the direction of the Board of Trustees, village manager, or village committees, and will be enacted with one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. Item A, request Board of Trustees approval of the cancellation of the second meeting in March, scheduled March 28, 2023, due to early voting in the Village Hall auditorium. B, request the Board of Trustees approval of the Oak Lawn Community High School Homecoming Parade on Wednesday, September 27, 2023, beginning at 5 p.m. from 88th Street and Austin Avenue to the high school football stadium at 94th Street and Austin Avenue. C, request the Board of Trustees approval to waive the village incurred fees associated with Oak Lawn Homecoming Parade on Wednesday, September 27, 2023. D, resolution number 23-05-11, a resolution waiving competitive bidding and approving a proposal and agreement with Andrews Technology for time and attendance hardware and software and related services. E, resolution number 23-05-12, a resolution approving a proposal for C.M. Lavoie and Associates Incorporated for professional design services for the Polaris Park Stormwater Project located at 10701 South Kilpatrick Avenue. F, resolution number 23-05-13, a resolution approving a change order for professional engineering services for bid package 7B Orland Park Spur 2 as part of the Regional Water System Improvements Program. G, resolution number 23-05-14, a resolution approving a proposal from IPMG for additional third-party claims administration and cost containment services.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Sock.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item 11, village clerk's report.
We have disbursement resolution number 2023-05D dated March 14th, 2023 in the amount of $6,754,660.25.
Motion?
Second.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Sock.
Yes.
Item 12, Village President's Report. I would like to thank our Public Safety Department, our Public Works Department, and Police and Fire, but mostly I want to concentrate on the Police Department. In the jobs that our Police Department do, it's not a glorious or glamorous job. They wake up every morning trying to keep our village safe and with the hope of being able to go home to their families and be safe too. A lot of things they see and a lot of things they do, they don't know the impact that they have on the community, and they don't know the impact that they have on individuals. There was an email to Chief Vittorio. He didn't ask me to read this. This came across in my mail, and I think it's very telling of what a police officer does and how we can impact somebody. A person wrote a heartfelt and sometimes heartbreaking email to Chief Vittorio about one of our police officers, Bob Carroll. She explained that Officer Carroll arrested her a few years ago for child endangerment because of her severe heroin addiction, and as a result, her daughter was taken from her. She said she was upset at Officer Carroll for a long time and blamed him for losing her daughter. She eventually overcame her addiction and has been sober for 18 months and wrote to let Chief know that she'll be getting her daughter back in August, and that if it was not for and that it's not Officer Carroll's fault for her losing her daughter, but that he needed to be thanked for her daughter being alive. She explained that the day after her daughter was taken from her, she and her boyfriend and daughter's father were high and got into a car accident. She believes her daughter would have died if she was with them. She spoke, too, about multiple instances of drug use and carelessness that she was convinced would have led to her daughters being harmed. I'm sharing this next part almost verbatim because of the difficulty she must have had in writing it. So I not only owe Officer Carroll a big thank you for the fact that I'm alive today to write this, but also an apology for making him the villain in my stories because I was not being a good mother and a good human. I know that the police do not always get credit for the good things they do, but because your officer did his job, my daughter is 2 years old and thriving, and I'm no longer in deep addiction. I have a life and a future ahead of me. I hope that you can tell him thank you for me, and that sometimes an arrest and a sad situation can actually change the course of someone's life for the better. Your department and Officer Carroll have my utmost gratitude. Now, I will tell you that that police officer had to do his job, and it was tough. And I'm so happy to see that a person that got back onto the right path was positively affected by a negative incident in her life. But that's what our police men and women do every day. They take negatives and turn them into positives. And unfortunately, like Officer Vasquez, they don't make it home because of carelessness or recklessness. This is a good story. Officer Vasquez is a bad story. But I will tell you that if we truly treat our police with respect and respect authority, we will make a better community. And I will tell you that this board here supports our police department and the jobs that they do 110% every day. So, Officer Carroll, thank you. You weren't looking for a thanks. You went to work and did a great job. Now, I do want to cover another thing that's really bothered me because we've had some very difficult situations with our Police and Fire Commission with people that have come here to try to disrupt the ability for our village to do village business. I do believe everyone has the right to speak. That's what our democracy is about. I do believe people have the right to protest, but I do not believe that people have the right to use the type of behavior that was used at one of the Police and Fire Commission meetings, and then finding out from talking to the police officers and talking to the citizens of Oak Lawn that were here talking about all the positives that our police do, getting the verbal abuse, the threats, and the type of behavior that I don't know if I personally can handle. And I know that a police officer's job is difficult, but when people don't respect you and then verbally abuse you within inches of your face, I commend you for keeping your control, but I will tell you that this village will allow people to speak their minds, but I would ask that the village residents still continue to act responsibly, and if people want to come in here and protest, they have every right, but they do not have the right to threaten and verbally abuse people. And I'm glad to hear that at the last Police and Fire Commission meeting, there were many, many Oak Lawn residents that came out in support and did a very nice job of getting their point across without using abusive language, threats, or any other type of intimidation. And I know that the job that we do as elected officials is a difficult job, and we make tough decisions, but I can tell you that the village manager to the left of myself, after one meeting, was basically threatened because of being a member of this board. I believe in our criminal justice system, and I believe that as it works, the truth will come out, but I do not believe that anybody here should be intimidated, nor do I believe that anybody who's volunteering their time, as most of the Police and Fire Commission members do, and a lot of these boards do, that they should feel that they're threatened for coming to do the work of the village board. So that being said, I know, Tom, you have talked to legal counsel about how board meetings should happen and what people are or are not allowed to do. And I know that we have legal opinion of what will be allowed and tolerated at meetings. So I don't know if you want to talk about that. I didn't talk to you at all about it.
Well, thank you. Interestingly, there was a letter posted in the Oak Lawn Patch today from a resident who, as she has frequently done in the past, has, badly misstated what happened and made baseless attacks and accusations about elected officials and appointed officials. And it's adding to the divisiveness that people like her claim to try to prevent. We did send out that emergency communication about the next Police and Fire Commission meeting, which was the next day after the email I sent. And the intent was to take some air out of the balloon that was expanding, because we heard from multiple people, Oak Lawn residents, after the first meeting, where we almost had fist fights and a near riot. I was here and witnessed it like others. And the intent was to tell people from Oak Lawn, it's not a good idea to come here and engage with people who are here to disrupt, insult, hurl accusations, threats, menacing behavior, all of which was caught on videotape. I shared that with people so they understood the context. And, the unfortunate thing is, it's not a political issue, it's a safety issue. There were elderly females here that left here shaking and crying. I myself left, and it's on video, I just saw it today, and had to walk through what was this small gauntlet of protesters, many of whom were young girls screaming at me that I'm a racist and a white devil, and I hope you die in a car crash. And the sad part was they were like smiling. And when I say sad, I hope that it meant that they really didn't believe that. They were just doing what the adults that had them there were telling them to do and say. But it's bad for our community, and it's certainly bad for the people, as Trustee Olejniczak said, who are up here trying to do the village work, trying to get things done. And, our primary responsibility is the safety of our residents. And as I said in my response that I just sent to the Oak Lawn Patch this evening, we're not here to sanitize things, nor are we here to aggravate things. We're here to educate people on what's happening, to prevent problems from occurring, to discourage people from coming to meetings who are angry. And if there's good in any of this, the next meeting of the Police and Fire Commission that Trustee Olejniczak spoke about was better. There were several people here. Many of them spoke. Exactly one person was removed. That person was here to provide support for the police. This is not about bias or discrimination. It's about allowing people, whoever they are, wherever they come from, inside and outside of Oak Lawn, to come up for their 3 minutes, whether they choose to speak, show a video, PowerPoint presentation. We don't discriminate. We don't tell people what they can or can't say. But you can't threaten people. You can't scream vulgarities at people. You can't race at people in a menacing fashion. That's not going to be tolerated, police or otherwise. And to your point, Trustee Olejniczak, the Police and Fire Commission which normally is a very sleepy commission that nobody attends the meetings, has turned into a very, very disquieting place. And it's not the way it should be. So they did adopt some new rules. It's unfortunate that people have to be told not to spew vulgarity and attack people and insult people, but some people unfortunately have to be told that. So I think hopefully it's getting better. And, you know, we are trying as a board and as an organization to communicate to people in a way that makes them safe, that prevents them from doing things that would make matters worse. And that's what the intent was. And as I said in my communication tonight at the Oklahoma Patch, it's gratifying to know that the vast majority of this community, based on the communications we've received since that email I sent, more than 100 communications in the last 6-7 months, thousands of communications, people simply saying, we want law and order here. We want people to respect the police. If you or anybody else feels that the police have mishandled you or did something wrong, the courts are where we do that, not in the streets. And that's the message that I think we all have been trying to convey, to continue to malign the police and encourage people to not listen to lawful orders is going to invite more and more problems and likely occurrences where people die. And that's what this board and this organization has been trying to communicate, and we will continue to communicate that. And sometimes it's not pleasant. Sometimes the reality of what is happening is just the reality of what is happening on video for all to see. And it's important that we see it as opposed to sanitize it. So you're right, we didn't, there was nothing planned here, but we are trying our best to make sure people are aware of what's going on, again, for the sole purpose of keeping people safe.
Thank you. And I would just like to add that it's just a, it's something that's very concerning, not just here, but throughout other communities, and you see it every day that, you know, whatever happened to, you have an opinion, I have an opinion. If we disagree, we can respectfully disagree, but we don't have to take it to the next level. I look forward to the time where that value comes back and where people treat each other with respect. Because as Thomas said, and this board has said many times, that when you stop respecting lawful authority, you start to have major issues in your communities. So that's my report. Again, I do want to thank our village employees, especially our police and fire, for the job that they do every day. And we can move on to executive session number 2023-04 for purpose of discussing number 1, closed meeting minutes, number 2023-03, dated February 28th, 2023, and number 2, pending litigations. And then the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in a park, recreational, or educational setting, or specific volunteers of the public body or legal counsel for the public body. So if I can get a motion to go to executive session?
Second.
Trustee Pembroke.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Olejniczak.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker. Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Thank you. Do appreciate you coming out to the meetings. Have a good night.